So I've been spending a lot of time lately thinking about silicon. It is an amazing mineral. It plays so many different roles in the plant. I have a whole list of benefits that I want to talk about. But if you haven't had a chance, please check out the podcast I did with Dr. Wendy Zellner. I just went back and listened to it 3 times just this week because there's so much information in it and it's a lot to take in. Silicon seems too good to be true. And in a lot of ways it really is. She makes the argument for the fact that it should be an essential plant mineral, and I definitely agree with her based off of everything that I've been learning. So I'm going to do a series of 3 posts. This first post is just talking about all the benefits. It's going to be the longest. The next one is going to be the different forms that silicon can come in. And then the last one will be what products can we use and how do we incorporate them into our garden, and what sort of availability can we expect in terms of SI percentage. So let's start off talking about benefits. The biggest thing about silicon is it mitigates plant stress. Research has shown that it helps, it's involved in a ton of different enzymatic reactions. It can help the immune system respond more rapidly to pathogen pressure or disease, or reduces enzymatic stress from heavy metals and keep them from moving into the cytoplasm of the cell. There's recent research that I did another interview on that showed the 70% reduction in powdery mildew when using Wollastonite, calcium silicate, and raising the silica levels in hemp plants. It improves stem health. Everyone's heard of that SI helps with a thicker, higher quality stem, which provides lodging resistance. It enhances UV tolerance. People talk about heat and drought resistance. Well, this is interesting. The way that silicon does this is by reducing transpiration. And you think, oh, well, we don't want to reduce transpiration in most cases. This would be a bad thing. But what it really does is it helps extract water from the soil and then assists in holding that water in the leaf tissue by forming this silica cuticle double layer, I believe it's called. And by reducing transpiration, this helps give better drought and heat tolerance. So the mechanism of action there is actually really interesting. It helps reduce salt stress through inhibition of sodium and chloride uptake, and increases efficiency of potassium uptake. It raises pH, which helps reduce heavy metal uptake. It also improves heavy metal accumulation and retention in the root and accumulation in the endodermis. And this is important in cannabis because when we're consuming or harvesting, it's the buds and flowers. So we would rather have that arsenic, for example, be located in a part of the plant that we're not going to be consuming. And this is an argument unrelated to silica of removing root material and removing stems and stalks, not chopping and dropping. And there's many different plants that are hyperaccumulators, bamboo, rice, and cannabis and hemp are some of the main ones that we're familiar with. And some of the research on rice is actually really interesting. They found that because it's a hyperaccumulator, when the SI was not present in the soil at high enough levels, the plant, in trying to accumulate this silicon, will actually take up more higher levels of arsenic. And we hear about arsenic in rice all the time. So if you can raise the levels of silicon in your soil, that would reduce the amount of arsenic uptake in your cannabis plant, in theory, based on this concept. Another great thing about silicon is it moves through the xylem, not the phloem, so it doesn't flow out of the leaf when you do foliar applications. So silicon just has all of these benefits. We should absolutely be using it in our garden. And my next post will be talking about the different forms of it, because it can get really confusing. You hear people talk about salicylic acid, monosalicylic acid, silicates, silicon dioxide, biogenic silica. So I'll talk about that next, but I wanted to just talk about the benefits first. Comment below with any thoughts or your experiences or any other research you'd like to share. Thanks.